Clipex sheep handler is a revolutionary new product designed to make handling sheep easier, safer, and more efficient. Let's go through some of the basic setup and installation methods, as well as a quick overview of how to use the handler. Before we get started, there's a few items you'll need before you can use the handler. A 12-volt battery. A 70 amp-hour battery fully charged should give you about 8 hours of runtime. Compressed air. We recommend a minimum of a 12 CFM compressor with a cutout in pressure of around 85 psi. You'll also need a suitable hose and a female Nitto quick connect fitting. Suitable lead-up race. To get the best out of your handler, it's important to have an efficient lead-up race. It's recommended that the last section of the race be narrow enough to prevent sheep turning around and straight enough for the sheep to see through the handler and follow the animal in front. Weigh scale indicators. The Clipex sheep handler comes with load bars pre-fitted in the factory. But if you plan to weigh your sheep or automatically draft them, you'll need a weigh scale indicator. The handler comes ready to plug into true test indicators. To use an Iconics indicator, you'll need to purchase a cable adapter, available from Clipex separately. To use the automatic drafting features, Clipex recommends the following units: True Test ID 3000 or XR 3000, Iconics FX21 or FX41. When you receive the handler, be sure to only lift the unit with the lifting lugs provided. Take notice of all the warning labels on the machine. Use the jockey wheel provided to lift the handler to a suitable height for towing, and make sure that the tow hitch is attached properly. Don't forget to lift up the jockey wheel after it's attached. Always tow the unit as close as possible to the position where you wish to set the handler up. It's not equipped with brakes, so only unhitch the handler on level ground. If pushing by hand, you'll need at least 2 people. When setting up the handler, connect the power lead to the 12-volt battery. This will allow you to use the electric jacks. You'll find the power lead stowed above the offside axle. Be careful to connect the battery correctly, with the black lead on the negative terminal and the red lead on the positive terminal. The controls for the jacks are located on the main dash panel. Whenever using the electric jacks, make sure the main power switch is down in the off position. Power is not available to the jacks if the power switch is in the on position. Using the jack toggle switches, lower the jacks until the tires are suspended. When the tires are suspended, carefully remove them by twisting and releasing the safety latch and sliding the entire axle out. Make sure the jockey wheel is stowed and latched in the horizontal position and the tow hitch is twisted upside down. This will allow the draft platform to be lowered correctly. Unscrew the bolt holding the sensor bar and pivot it 180 degrees. This avoids it getting in the way when folding the drafting and pre-catch platforms out. Unhook the ratchet strap holding the draft and pre-catch platforms together. You'll need at least 2 people to safely unfold the drafting platform down on top of the drawbar. Before unfolding the pre-catch platform, you'll need to swing away the small offside gate. The catch wall may also need to be adjusted before unfolding the ramp. You can adjust the catch wall by sliding the blue collar on the air arm and moving the catch wall by hand. You'll need at least 2 people to unfold the pre-catch platform. Now you can swing the sensor bar back and lock it off by tightening the bolt. The weigh scale indicators mount to the bracket on the off side of the handler. The bracket is designed to suit a wide range of indicators. Make sure you plug in all the suitable cables, including the load bar cables, the communication lead, and the power lead. The air connection is located on the offside. Using a long air hose and moving the compressor away from the yards is a good idea to help isolate the noise from the compressor. The Clipex sheep handler is now ready to be calibrated. Calibrating the Clipex sheep handler is the most important process in determining how well the unit operates. Firstly, you want to lower the jacks to ensure that the pre-catch platform is on the ground and that you're at a comfortable working height. Next, you'll need to adjust the catch wall. At the bottom of the catch wall, there are 2 spring-loaded pins, one on each side. Pull open the pin and push the base of the catch wall to the desired position and release the locking pin. This adjusts the base width of the catch wall. You can adjust the top width of the catch wall by opening the blue air cylinder valve on the back side of the catch wall and repositioning the air cylinder. Don't forget to close the valve after you've made the appropriate adjustment. After adjusting the catch wall, you may need to reposition both offside gates. The gates can be adjusted by lifting the gate up and maneuvering the bottom pin into the correct hole. The sensor bar above contains 2 proximity sensors. The sensor closest to the entry ramp controls when the entry gate closes. Move this sensor towards the entry ramp to close the entry gate earlier. The sensor closest to the drafting gates controls the timing of the catch wall. Moving this to the left will catch the sheep later. To adjust the overhead sensors, squeeze the tabs together. Slide the sensor and release the tabs when the sensor is in the right place. If you'd like access to the sheep caught in the pre-catch, you can fold around one or both of the anti-jump bars above the entry ramp. It's recommended to keep the bars in place when the sheep are flowing through to prevent them jumping out of the entry ramp. It's important that you adjust the catch pressure to best suit the sheep that will be running through. For lambs and lighter farmed animals, it's recommended to run the catch pressure at around half a turn clockwise. To increase the air pressure for larger sheep, turn the dial clockwise. Remember, you can always apply more catch pressure to the sheep after it is caught by pressing the catch switch again. Make sure the handler is in a position where it can operate freely, with plenty of room to move around the unit if necessary. If using a weigh scale indicator, turn it on first before anything else and wait for it to load. It should show a weight signal when ready. Next, flick the power switch upwards into the on position and wait for about 45 seconds. The manual LED light will turn solid red when the unit is ready. It's recommended that you go through the manual functions without sheep in the unit to ensure that everything is running smoothly before moving into automatic operation. The handler has several operating modes, which you can toggle through by pressing the Mode button. In manual mode, you can check the drafting gates by turning the toggle switch anti-clockwise to draft left, to the 12 o'clock position to draft straight through, and clockwise to draft to the right. In the top right corner is the catch switch. Lift the switch up to operate the catch wall. It's important to note the catch pressure dial controls how much pressure is applied to the catch wall, not the speed of the catch wall. Turn this dial clockwise to increase the pressure. With the catch wall closed, you can now check the tilt function by pressing the tilt button. Take care, as this will tilt the table towards the operator. The tail flap will automatically lift up every time as the table rolls over. In this position, you can open the head flap by pressing the head flap button tucked behind the catch wall. Press the button again to close the head flap. To tip the table back over, press the tilt return button to the right of the head flap button. You can then release the catch wall by toggling the release switch. The Run Pause button on the panel currently has no function, but is designed for future updates. If you purchase the optional wireless remote control, you can control several functions by pressing the buttons on the remote in manual mode. Button 1 on the remote controls the left draft gate. Button 2 controls the right draft gate. Button 4 will close the catch wall, and button 3 will release the catch wall. You can still see the live weight of the animal on the weigh scale indicator. However, no information is passed between the handler and the weigh scale indicator. If you wish to prevent sheep running through the handler in manual mode, closing the catch wall will also close the entry gate. When the machine is toggled into semi-auto mode, the handler will sense the sheep and automatically close the catch wall on them as they run through. If you have any drafting controls set up on the indicator, the drafting gates will operate automatically. However, the handler will not release the sheep until you toggle the release switch. This gives you the option to either roll the table over with the tilt switch or leave the sheep caught in the handler until you are ready to release them. Remember, the drafting gates can be overridden at any time. When the machine is toggled into automatic mode, the catching, releasing and drafting will be done automatically between the handler and the indicator. Pushing the Catch toggle button, or button 3 on the remote, will pause the automatic program. This is confirmed by the flashing green LED. When the machine is in this pause state, it operates similar to when it's in manual mode. Pushing the Catch toggle or the button 3 a second time to resume the automatic program. There are no controls over the pre-catch gate. It's always operated automatically by the machine, so take care not to place anything in the way of the sensors that may accidentally close the pre-catch. If dagging or wigging the sheep, you'll need to use either manual or semi-auto mode. After the sheep are caught by the catch wall, hitting the tilt button will give you access to perform a dagging operation. While the sheep is tilted, hit the head flap switch to gain access to the animal's head for a wigging operation. Hitting the tilt return button will automatically close both flaps and tilt the sheep upright. The sheep will remain held until the release switch is toggled. There is a manual air valve located under the frame on the off side. This overrides any electronic controls and should be used when tilting the catch table for servicing. There is a possibility that the air cylinders may leak over time, so always use a chock to hold the table up if working underneath. There's an oil reservoir underneath the table. It's recommended to check the oil level before using the machine. Don't forget to check your compressor manual for instructions on maintaining your compressor. To pack up the Clipex sheep handler, power off the weigh scale indicator and remove it from the handler. Pivot the sensor bar 180 degrees, ready to fold up the pre-catch and drafting platform. Before folding up the pre-catch platform, make sure the anti-jump bars are in the stowed position and that the offside gate is moved to the outside of the catch platform. Check that the catch wall and air hoses are out of the way and fold up the pre-catch platform. Now do the same with the drafting platform. The sensor bar can now be repositioned above the unit. Use the electric jacks to lift the handler high enough to insert the axles. Make sure the safety latches on the axles are fully engaged. Lower the jockey wheel to its vertical position, ensuring the spring latch is firmly in place. Lift up the jacks to the home position and disconnect the airline and the power. Be careful to ensure the power lead is stowed safely in the handler. Before towing the handler, always check that the air and power leads are disconnected. The electric jacks are retracted to their full height. The axles are firmly in place with catches engaged. The drafting platform is strapped to the entry ramp. The side gates are locked in position. The sensor bar is latched and the indicator is removed and stored safely for transport. The Clipex sheep handler is now ready to be towed to the shed or the next set of sheep yards.